Big news out of India's capital city, New Delhi. Sources say that the National Green Tribunal has wrapped the Delhi government for unilaterally calling for implementation of the odd-even scheme in the capital city. The Green Panel has said the Delhi government should prove first whether the implementation of the odd-even scheme reduced pollution the last time. The Green Panel would stay the imposition of the scheme if the government fails to answer this question by tomorrow. The Indian capital city was to implement the odd-even scheme to cut the use of private vehicles from November 13th to November the 17th. Sources say the government is going to allow people free travel on DTC and cluster buses around during this period. The idea is to discourage people from using their private vehicles, but does Delhi have enough buses to implement this? We have been suffering in the last few days. I say we because we are headquartered in Noida, close to India's capital city, New Delhi. So we have been suffering by severe pollution. It is actually affecting the life of millions of Indians, and especially those millions of people living in Delhi and its surrounding who are working outdoor. Therefore, there is absolutely no filter for them, and they keep breathing all day long a very polluted air. The pollution level in Delhi cannot even be defined as problematic. They are dangerous. They are becoming more and more dangerous by the hour. Many of the citizens of India's capital city, New Delhi, are suffering. Their eyes are burning, their skin is burning, their lungs are obviously burning. And these has not only short-term effects on the health of citizens, but these have also potentially long-term effects. In fact, PM 2.5 and PM 10 are some of the responsibles of cancer. So breathing this air is actually a carcinogenic threat to all those people who are forced to cope with this living in New Delhi. The government of the city decided to implement an odd and even scheme, which means that on alternate days only cars with odd or even plates can circulate around the city, but the Green Tribunal has told the government cannot unilaterally impose these unless they prove that it was actually effective. And for more on this story, I am joined by our political editor and also another citizen of Delhi, Kartikeya Sharma. Kartikeya, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. There is no need for me to say how tough it is to breathe in these days in Delhi, but it's surprising that the Green Tribunal is saying that the Delhi government cannot unilaterally implement the odd and even scheme.
See, what is happening is that Delhi is going through a crisis, and all the agencies concerned with environmental laws, environment, clean air, they're fighting with each other. Now, suddenly in the middle of the crisis, when smog has hit the roof and it's more than the particulate matter crossed 900, NGT is asking Delhi government as to why did you go in for odd and even. Earlier, the experience of Delhi with odd and even was, it was like a campaign. It was novel in the sense. But what it did was it created some sort of a relief for people who were driving in the city, but it didn't bring down the pollution, because the 80% of the pollution is from the heavy industries and motorcycle and scooters, because they use a different sort of engine. That particular engine, especially in Southeast Asia and South Asia, is being used by a lot of industrial houses. It creates a lot of pollution, but then the whole constituency for poor and rich, or the debate of poor and rich, would have started. So the Delhi government took the easier way. It said, well, it's all about the cars. Then certain exemptions were also given. So odd and even just didn't work in terms of principal purity. Secondly, despite the problem of construction and local automobile, the problem in Delhi gets compounded by the fact that you have stubble burning in Haryana, stubble burning in Western UP and Punjab. All three chief ministers are fighting with each other and saying that the centre needs to compensate. What it reflects is a lack of, I would say, the culture for environmentalism,
right,
or politics of environment. And it also goes on to show that despite the fact that we can blame the government to let them come, but it also requires some sort of participation and sacrifice by the civil society. This is about the children. Environment is about, if you read the environmental charter, Daniele, it specifically mentions future and the word children. I think that sense needs to maybe either, I don't know whether it's the right word, instilled, but that sense seems to be lacking, that this is for the future, what people should do.
Perhaps, for instance, one of the many initiatives that could be taken could be of granting all those employees who can actually work remotely from home not to go to office in these days, therefore they will not be traveling around the city. Kartikeya, I want to talk to you a little bit about this problem of stubble burning. So we have on the one hand the farmers who are saying that they have no money to manage that alone. So they are requesting the government to pitch in and to find out a way to manage all the vegetable waste coming out from the paddy field cultivation, especially in Punjab, which is India's green basket, I would say. So how does that happen? This is happening every day. I mean, in our life in Delhi, this was happening the last year, last to last year, and I'm sure for many more years. So what is the solution for that?
I think the solution is that this, the campaign or the for clean air, the Delhi government or any other government will have to work through the year. It cannot be a government in motion when the crisis hits. That is why the crisis will hit every year, and then you will have emergency measures. It is about being in the campaign mode through the year. That is how campaigns make societies cleaner and better. If you want a clean environment, it has to be like a daily ritual, you know. It cannot be for a day in a month, you know. That's a symbolic way of dealing with the problems. The governments in various parts of India must get out of those symbolic movements. It needs to make it into a year-long practice, 24/7.
Thank you very much. This was Kartikeya Sharma, our political editor, helping us to understand a bit better what will happen to the citizens of India's capital city, New Delhi, who are currently greeted by a severe air pollution crisis. And now moving on, the chairman of the Supreme Court of India appointed Environment Pollution Control Authority, or EPCA, has disapproved the re-implementation of the odd-even formula to control pollution in Delhi. EPCA Chairman Bhure Lal said that there won't be much impact on Delhi's air even if odd and even scheme is put in place in the capital city. On Thursday, Delhi's Aam Aadmi Party announced the reintroduction of the odd even scheme in an attempt to tackle alarming pollution in the city. The odd-even scheme was first implemented in Delhi by the Aam Aadmi Party government in 2015. In this scheme, odd and even numbered private vehicles supply on alternate days to encourage use of public transport. Let's listen in to what the EPCA chairman told WION.
We are with Mr. Bhure Lal, who is the chairman of EPCA, and we are here to discuss about the smog situation currently which is there in Delhi. So, sir, the situation has worsened, of course. So when do we expect that there will be some change and a better situation for us?
Today is better than yesterday. Tomorrow will be better than today. Situation will improve. Let us hope for the best. This intermingling of western and easterly winds does not take place, or it gets minimized. Weather conditions in Delhi will improve.
Also, sir, Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of Delhi, he wants to come up with an odd-even plan on from 13th till 17th, and this is the third time that they are planning to do it. So, do you think it really helps Delhi to curb pollution from the state?
We have not sent any such directive, although we have pronounced all other measures pertaining to control emergency situation, like banning of entry of trucks into Delhi which are not carrying essential items for Delhiites, stoppage of all construction activity, and or even we have not sent any directive.
But sir, is it going to help really? Because last 2 years it was not really of any use, and pollution did not really came, its level didn't come down. So
I don't have to comment, but only thing that I will emphasize is let there be adequacy of public transport system, buses and frequency of metro and additional coaches. Metro has done it. They have increased the frequency of service and they have added additional coaches also. Let there be adequate number of buses on Delhi roads. The number should have been around 11,000 by 2010. I don't know what is the number now. Just find out.
Also, the EPCA came up with many advisories so that the situation may become a bit better. So how has been the implementation? Because Stubble burning also was one of the implementation which NGT said that it should happen, but we couldn't. It couldn't take place properly. So how has been the situation so far? As you are already monitoring, personally you are monitoring the situation.
Stubble burning is going on, and it will taper off within a day or two. It has reached its peak. Other measures which we directed the concerned authorities to do in the NCR region, they are doing it. Conditions are improving. Water is being sprinkled even in Delhi. Even in Ghaziabad, they are sprinkling water. Gurgaon and Faridabad also are taking adequate measures, and state concerned authorities are monitoring it. In Haryana, they are holding video conferences regularly to monitor the situation.